And now that you guys got some time, you can go buy a handle of Jack before we got to do the award ceremony.
Can one of you guys get?
All right, we're going to bring 4 more guys up here. Give us our next slew of characters. Who have we got? We got Jeremy.
Jeremy Cupp.
Will.
Come on down.
Who else is over there? Chris Tice.
Christopher Tice.
Is that all we got? We don't have a 4th one over there?
No, we good.
There's 3. We lost one someplace. You see anybody else over there? All right, well, that's it. Well, guys, we got 3 more. Introduce yourselves from this end down this time.
I'm Jeremy Cupp of LC Fabrications out of the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia.
All right.
Will Ramsey, Faith Forgotten Shoppers, New Albany, Indiana.
I'm Chris Tice. I'm out of Milwaukee, and I'm just like every other dude in Milwaukee in his garage with a little heater and a bunch of bike parts and not the correct tools to build anything with.
That's the best way to do it. Hey, Chris, tell us what you brought to the show.
I brought a 2006 Dyna. So I found this Dyna in a barn, and I was like, great, this will be a great builder. And then I got it home, and just like every other project that I get into, it's way over my head, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So I call all my friends, and I make them send me parts and give me advice. And this one really turned out to be terrible. We thought we were going to straighten the frame, but that didn't happen. So I had to buy a brand new frame from Harley, and then, well, an 88 wasn't big enough, so we tore the whole motor apart, split the cases. And then I just got hooked up with a lot of rad people. I've got a lot of rad friends in the industry, and so many people stepped up, helped me out with the motor, top to bottom. I have nothing to complain about. It's like Christmas every day at my house.
You know, Chris's bike kind of demonstrates something that I've been meaning to talk to Jeff about. I want to write an article for Hot Bike that talks about the difference, but still honors the difference of motorcycle customizers and then custom builders. There's 2 different groups of people.
Well, I'm actually an assembler. I
But
strip bolts.
We have 3. We do call people like, there's dudes that just assemble parts. There's dudes that build full blown out customs, and then there's guys that do.
But there's something to be said, like Chris's bike is a Dyna, and it's purpose built. He assembled a very nice set of performance parts, purpose built, because you're a stunter. You want to do stoppies, wheelies, crazy stuff, jump off curbs with your bike, but it also is aesthetically pleasing. That is not an easy task, and also needs to be honored, because that's what 80% of the guys around are going to be doing.
Agreed.
And honestly, it's kind of embarrassing when you look at my bike up there. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn. It's a pretty rad motorcycle, but all these guys that you've seen on stage and all the bikes on the floor, there's so much craftsmanship into these machines, and there's so much blood, sweat, and tears, and I'm a little bit embarrassed that I kind of bolted mine together.
Well, you do know that there's more craftsmanship in Jeremy's front wheel than probably your bike that you have now and the 2 that you have at home.
Yeah, my bike is, first off, I'd like to thank Visa for my bike. They've been my biggest sponsor so far.
Now, Jeremy, what did you bring? Like we haven't seen it enough already.
Oh, my Lord.
I brought a Buell Blast.
Buell Blast. That's right.
It's actually, scratch built, Speedway inspired thing. I took a Buell Blast, put a Ducati head on it, and made an overhead cam Buell. So
that's insane.
In case you didn't catch that, he did a bunch of stuff that couldn't be done, and he did it. And there's only one in the world, and it's super duper awesome.
Imagine that, a Buell Blast bottom end, divorce a tranny. You
right.
Call it back ending it?
Is that back half, that's what I call it.
You back half. He calls it back half because he's from a weird place. But anyway, I call it divorce. He back halved it, and then put a Ducati cylinder on top of that Buell bottom end. And man, I tell you what, it's a piece of art.
The whole bike's crazy.
The whole bike. But there's nothing, no part of that bike. Well, you didn't make the tires.
Not the tires.
You didn't make your own spokes or wheels, right?
He did make his own grips.
Buchanan's did the spokes.
So,
Electron carburetor.
Okay, you didn't build a carburetor from scratch. Everything else on that bike, though, when you look at it, he's touched it, massaged it, made it, produced it with his own 2 hands, and it's won all over the country. That bike has been slaying shows, big shows, all over the country. And you're going to Germany, aren't you?
That's right. In October, I'll be traveling to Germany for the AMD World Championship.
AMD World Championships. That's a big deal, man. That just doesn't happen every day for guys.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us are going to travel to Germany for the AMD World Championships, but it's not because we're taking bikes.
I just do it for work.
Yeah, we're just going to go watch him. So that's awesome. Now, Will, why are you even here? What are you doing here, man?
I'm judging his bike.
Oh, you got Will now. Will, tell us who you are, where you're from, and man, Will's so important too. Now he's VIP, man. He gets to eat at Gibson's tonight. Doesn't have to pay for it.
The
Paid last
quality
night.
of bikes that guy
I didn't know I was
builds.
going to eat there tonight.
Quality of bikes he builds is on par.
Off
with
the
best of
chain,
them,
man. Off the
So,
chain. Will,
that's
tell us
bottom
what
line.
you think of the bikes that are here this week.
The show's incredible this year. Like he said, the craftsmanship's up there is just ridiculous. Like every bike there is great. And I got a call 2 weeks ago to come out and judge this. They told me I get a free trip, get to come and hang out with my friends and see everybody's bikes. So yeah, I was all about it.
Oh yeah. So well, I mean, you build some sick stuff, and that's why you're here, because you know what to look for. But man, we were walking around judging those bikes. That's a tough task this weekend.
Yeah, it took a while.
Yeah, I am so glad I don't have to do what Jeff does, because Jeff has to pick them, and everybody knows he picked them, man. And that's
Yeah, I have editor's choice picks, and I don't make a lot of friends here sometimes. You know, it's just the way it works. But
makes it tough. Yeah,
I let the bikes speak for themselves, man. And sometimes there's bikes that are really close, and I have to kind of pick it between one or two items on the bike or what color it is. And, you know, if it doesn't have an exorbitant amount of spinning dice and trucker chicks on it, you kind of win a little more. But no, I'm just kidding. All that aside, like it's a very hard thing to do, and being a judge is a lot of fun though, but it can be a hard thing.
it can be hard. So I'm glad it's not quite anonymous, because there were 4 of us, and then 5 of us doing that this morning. So, but at least it's somewhat anonymous. You know, the builder's got. If Jeff Nager lets those judging sheets out, we'll kill him.
I was hiding mine. Like,
Oh yeah, I folded mine up. It looked like origami when I gave it to him, man. I was like, but no. So you guys, we always run out of time. Jimmy's giving me the evil eye up there, but you know, there's guys out here that want to build their own bikes. You heard some of the advice those guys gave. You know, if somebody's gonna want to build a bike, you know, where would you tell them to start? Chris, where would you tell guy? I mean, you're kind of the typical.
You know, honestly, this dyno was the biggest and the deepest project I've ever gotten into, and really, honest, the whole time I've been out of my comfort zone. Realistically, I have a couple of manuals for the bike, some parts explosions, and I tear stuff apart. I'm really good at that, and stripping and breaking things. So I've gotten really good at extracting bolts and things like that. So really, for me, it's just been making mistakes has actually, I think, made me better at working at motorcycles, and then just really getting uncomfortable, tearing the whole thing down and throwing it on the floor and being like, all right, cool. Now let's change some things and put it back together. So it's really in the last, I would say, 6 months, personally, as working on bikes, I'm much more comfortable, and I've gotten a lot better just by doing it. I call Pat at 4 in the morning. Sometimes, sometimes we talk about bikes. Sometimes, but yeah, just.
What are you wearing?
He sounds hideous. Sorry.
Wrong company.
Sorry, Progressive.
Wrong company.
I love you guys. But yeah, just get uncomfortable. That's the best way to get good at anything.
There you go. Will, what would you advise folks getting ready to customize a bike?
ask questions. Find somebody who's done it. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call. I get phone calls every week from other builders. I've helped friends, builders, guys who are just doing their own thing. I mean, my company is, I build, 3 or 4 custom bikes a year, but I build frames and front ends mostly, and I build frames for some great builders like Bill Dodge.
Yeah.
So I love answering questions. I am really involved with Cycle Source Magazine and writing tech articles, and I just like teaching. I like disseminating good information, and my phone's always open. So I love questions, and I think that if you can't bring yourself down to ask a question, I ask questions all the time.
Absolutely.
I come here, I talk to these guys, and I get inspired. I learn something.
We do have a tendency in our motorcycle world to have to feel uber confident and don't want to let anybody think we don't know everything. And that's,
and like the old bikers, they wouldn't tell anybody anything. Like those guys, you ask those guys and they just tell you to go pound sand.
yeah, but now it's not that way anymore.
No.
I mean,
No.
it's not. It's much more gentler.
No,
So
the custom industry is small, and if somebody's doing it wrong and has a problem, it brings the whole industry down. So the more we can help each other and push that knowledge forward and continue to improve the building and the performance of the custom bikes, it's good for everybody, in my opinion.
Cool. How about you, Jeremy? What would you tell folks who want to customize a bike?
I'd say learn the basics first. Don't try to learn how to weld while building your motorcycle frame. Get the basics down, and once you got that under your belt, don't be afraid to, I throw stuff in the trash all the time, so, don't be afraid to screw up, and when you do, don't get discouraged, and don't carry a chip on your shoulder. Ask questions. If you don't know, ask somebody.
And I always tell people, don't decide to do it on your daily rider.
Never, ever. I tell people that all the time, too.
Because that might be down for a couple of years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might take you a while to figure it out. So.
Buy a new bike and build a panhead.
Exactly. So, well, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for what you give to the motorcycle community, all the builders. And Jeff, thank you. You were so
thank you,
supportive. You never say no, and everybody in the industry remembers that.
I'm
so
that
thank
way,
you
man.
so
I'm
much.
easy.
Yeah, you are easy. So, ladies and gentlemen, some more great builders. Enjoy their bikes out on the red carpet. Progressive School of Rock Stage is about to bring a couple of guys up here that are going to tell you stuff about how to ride a motorcycle you didn't know you needed to know.